Hello, consultants and directors. We're so excited. Oh my, we have a special treat for you today. We have two amazing, incredible directors from the Buffalo area that we are so privileged to know and have in our Mary Kay world. And you get to hear from these girls. So make sure you have your pen and paper out because you're going to get some awesome power thoughts. I want to first tell you a little bit about them. So let me bring up their amazing, beautiful pictures so you can see who you are about to meet. Okay, our first director is Miss Amy Schule, and she began her business 28 years ago to make some extra money over the summer and earned her first career car 11 months. 11 months, you guys, after signing her agreement. And then she went on to be a sales director 4 months later. And I have a feeling Amy probably won the same car I did first. Let's see what it was. She didn't mention it. It was a red hot rolling Grand Am. I'm sure that's what it was. We were red hot and rolling in that car. So Amy has earned 12 career cars, 8 of them pink Cadillacs, and the most recent being the Cadillac Plus XT6. She needs that for her humongous family. Now, if you take a look, you can see in her pictures, she actually is standing with Mary Kay Ash. I hope you guys see this. Look how tall Amy looks. She's tall to begin with, but look at her compared to little Mary Kay. She was so powerful, that little Mary Kay. And Amy in her pink Cadillac, and this is her beautiful family. And this picture over here, I think, is when we were in Hawaii. That's her and her husband. Or not, I don't know. She's adventurous. I'm not. I stayed on the beach. She was adventurous. So I think that's them. And she tried to get me to do that, but I'm like, no way, no way. I'd rather stay safe. And then here is her whole big family that's now adults. It's so crazy. And our kids got to go to school together, which is amazing. And they're all grown up now. So she has a beautiful family. So I hope you're noticing her beautiful family there. So she has actually been 15 times Circle of Achievement, including 4-time Circle of Excellence Achiever with a trip to China, Maui, and Oahu. So let me just tell you, when she comes on, I don't know if she'll tell you this, but I would love for her to tell you how they ate dinner on the Wall of China, which was completely amazing. So she has lots of stories to share. She's been a star consultant 91 times. So she has 91 prizes in addition to all of her other diamonds and gemstones that are just countless. I know she's got lots of rings. Hopefully she has them on today so you can see her amazing rings. She also has been a monthly Mary Kay Go Give Award winner, which, as you've noticed, we've had a Go Give Award winner on all of our calls. This is so amazing because you're working with such a Go Give group of directors here. It's fabulous. So Amy is married to Ned, and they have 5 children, ages 14 to 25. Now, what's one of Amy's most recent accomplishments is she had a deposit put into her checking account for 1 month, you guys, 1 month of work. And Mary Kay deposited a check for her of $27,000. $27,000 in 1 month. I used to make that in 1 year at my job. So that is Miss Amy Schule. So you'll get to hear from her in a second. Now let me pull up our next amazing director who I am so privileged to know. There she is. Miss Andrea Hardin. We're so excited to meet her too. And here you can see her beautiful family, her sister directors. And here in the corner, I recognize that desk. It's Mary Kay Ash's desk. So when we go to director training in Dallas, you get to sit at Mary Kay Ash's desk. Andrea, you're brave. You picked up the phone. I didn't do that. I'm so jealous. I just sat there. I was so nervous. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? This is so amazing. Okay, and there's all of her girlfriends. All right, so let me tell you about the beautiful Andrea. She started Mary Kay, her birthday. It was a birthday present to herself on July 18th of 2006. And what she did prior to, and actually I do believe currently she's also doing this. So I know you guys say you're busy, but we've met a lot of busy ladies who get things done here. But she is a consultant in human resources. She is now a director of human resources at the Albright Knox Art Gallery and an independent diversity and inclusion trainer, which is her own business, Hardin Training Partners. That's amazing. I didn't know that. What a busy girl. We are blessed to have her on this call today to share with us. She loves her Mary Kay, but also loves facilitating conversations about race and reconciliation, especially during these days. She started her Mary Kay just to get the discount. We've heard that quite a few times, you guys. So listen, I mean, this is so amazing to me. We joined for a discount, but she also wanted to make a little extra money as she was transitioning into her consulting job. Truly, she thought she would quit after a few months. She would quit her Mary Kay business after a few months of stocking up on her discounted products. However, she was absolutely amazed by the true support of just about everyone she met, and they kept her in a bit longer. Now here she is all these years later. But what really surprised her was at her first career conference in Rochester, that we started with prayer. And I think that's such an amazing thing. Me too, Andrea. That was such an amazing thing to me. The ability to truly live out her faith through her business solidified her continuing her Mary Kay journey. Thank you, Lord, right? Any achievements? Let's see. So her achievements were, again, Unit Miss Go Give 3 times as a consultant. I told you guys, you got the most amazing Go Give directors here. She's been in the Director's Court of Sales, and she's again on target this year. So she's earned some diamond and gemstone rings. She is married to her best friend, Harold, for over 25 years. 25 years this April. She has a daughter, Natalia, and who's 23, and her son, Nathaniel, is 22. I hope I said that right. We're going to have her tell you, you're going to hear more about her, but I'm going to tell you her defining moment. She said she had to stop and think about moving up and just changed her mindset into consistently sharing the product and the opportunity. At the end of January, she realized that she had 7 people in 3 months and was qualified for DIQ. Kind of just happened, huh? She prayed on it and made the decision to build the Hope Unit. Listen to this, you guys, the Hope Unit, honoring our God through purpose-filled living and excellence. I love that. And she debuted in May of 2018. She absolutely is dedicated to growing her diverse unit and using it as another venue for positive conversations that connect people of all different backgrounds in a safe community. Wow, do we need that now, Andrea? So let's meet my friends. I'm going to stop sharing their beautiful pictures. If I can get my mouse to work. Okay, here we go. All right, there's Miss Amy and Miss Andrea. Yay, welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
We're so excited to hear from you two awesomeness directors. So I'm going to start with Amy. I'm going to ask you a question, Amy. What is something that you gained from your Mary Kay business that you didn't expect?
Oh, I would have to say self-confidence and self-esteem. I don't even think when I started my business, I knew that I needed that. But this business, like, it bears all. If you are afraid of rejection, if you're afraid of that you can't do something, if you're like, it all comes out, and you either have to force your way through it and learn through it and grow, or you're never going to move forward in your business. And so in hindsight, I would say that is probably the biggest gift that I've gotten from Mary Kay. And I've been able to pass it on to my kids, right? And don't we want that? Like, we just want this becomes generational, whether my kids become part of Mary Kay or not, because they've learned so much from my personal growth and from all the lessons Mary Kay has taught too. So.
I love that. That is true. I think that we all became a little more confident when we came into Mary Kay. Right? Okay, Andrea, what's something you found that was surprising?
The support. I think, being a corporate America graduate, kind of had to step on other people to move up. And while I was always good at what I enjoyed doing, I did not want to necessarily have somebody else not get something by me doing it. And in Mary Kay, I love the fact that we can all move up. We can all earn cars. We can all earn diamonds. And just the friendship. My background is in human resources. Nobody wants to have lunch with the HR director. No one wants to complain about their job to the HR director. To have, the girlfriends that I met, I think of one of my dearest friends in Maryland. I would have never, ever met her if it was not for Mary Kay. And now she's kind of my ride and die. We have gone through everything together. It's just an amazing feeling to know that that people can invest in us. And again, I think that added to the confidence and who I was. Things like Amy said, I didn't think I needed, but it just strengthened who I actually was, not what everybody else thought I should be.
Mhm.
I love that, Andrea. Thank you for that. And it is it's really cool that we get girlfriends all over the country from what we do. So, all right. So, Amy, can you think about like a pivotal moment, maybe, or I don't know, something that happened, or like when you made the decision that you wanted to be a Mary Kay lifer and you wanted to lead people to do what you do? So, can you remember a moment, or is there something that happened?
Well, I would have to say there were probably two pivotal moments. So the first one was when some of you probably don't know, because, you know, my mother was a national sales director, but she has been retired. We were trying to figure out how many years now. It's been 14. She's retired 14 years ago. So, but my first pivotal moment came when I was a director, but a very weak director. I still was not all in on Mary Kay. I had a car. I was technically a consultant and a director, but I don't think my belief maybe was in all the way. And so when I had to suddenly start making production and like performing, because there's criteria that happens when you're becoming a national sales director, and I wanted to be counted as one of her directors. So when that came, that was a pivotal moment, because I knew I either had to show up or get out. And if I didn't show up, could put her back years, right? So I decided to start doing the work. And suddenly, when I was doing the work that I knew I needed to do, my income started going up. And I started having so much more fun. Like, I was helping other people. I was investing in other people, not just myself. And I was in it because it was a bigger picture. I was doing it for someone else, right? It wasn't all about me. It was about my mother. It was about all of the sales directors that were coming together to create this national area. And I just didn't want to let anybody else down. And I thought, wow, there's a bigger picture here. It's not just me floundering. Like, I got to pull it together. So that was my biggest momentum change and my biggest pivotal moment. And then I think the other one came, oh my gosh, probably 6, 7 years later, where I was still kind of treading water. Like, I knew that I was meant for more. I knew I had the ability to do more, but I just wasn't showing up the way to be my best self, right? So I think that aha moment came after Matthew was born, and he's now 18. So it was 18 years ago. And I just looked at his little face, and I just thought, I have to do more for these kids. Like, we have 4 kids now. Like, this is going to be expensive. This is going to be hard. And so at that moment, I just, like, it was just like God hit me over the head and said, you have this amazing opportunity, and I've given it to you so that you can work around these kids. Like, you don't have to give everything up to be able to provide more for them. You just have to do the work. So that was more of a spiritual thing. Like, that was nobody telling me I had to do it. It was just, I really felt like God was like just speaking to me. And something just woke me up, and I just started calling and connecting with people again, right? Like, I didn't know what to do to change it. Really. I'm like, I don't know. Can I change it? What do I do? And my first thought was just connect with people, call and connect with people. And so I just started one at a time making phone calls. And then it was almost like the change came, I feel like it came overnight. I'm sure it was a lot longer in reality. But I remember, like, all of a sudden we had the Premier Club car. And I was like, what? It was really like an aha moment for me to know that this business does not have to be hard. It's all about just trying to give to other people and doing what you can to help support other people and encourage other people. And then the returns come back like you would not believe when you stay stuck to, your one thing. Like, that was my one thing. Keep connecting with people.
Yes. And knowing you all these years, thank you for bringing up your mom's story. I got to send these to your mom, because several times her name came up, and it just brings tears to my eyes what that woman has done through her undying belief. If you've ever met Amy's mom, I would say her middle name is Believe. Like, she just had this unwavering belief in herself, in this company, in people and I was an adoptee in her area, and just being a part of that and watching you guys become a national area was amazing. Like,
Yeah.
so amazing. So we're so grateful that you decided to carry on her legacy. And what you just said was so great. Like, you decided, you didn't know how or what to do. You just
Mhm.
decided. So I think if you guys caught that, Amy had her why first and then the how came. So
Mhm.
important. Know your why and what, and then the how comes. So thank you, Amy. It's so great to have you share those stories. Okay, Andrea, tell us.
This is always one of those tough things as well, because I'm thinking what happened. But I would say mine actually even came at my debut, my director debut. I had gone through it. I was excited. We finished in 3 months and we were there. And at the debut, my husband didn't ask me. He went right to Amy saying, I want to talk. And I heard him say, I still don't understand why she does this Mary Kay thing. And Amy will tell people at our retreats that I was a Mary Kay snob. I didn't know why people would do that, but I wasn't that. I just thought, am I supposed to be doing this? But what he said hit home. He said to my unit, you all need to see her face when she's talking to you, when you're calling her and sharing, when you're doing that. And I realized he had gotten it. And at that moment, I got it. Because like Amy said, it wasn't about me at all. Anybody, and most of you would not know this, I was a very shy, quiet, introverted person for most of my life. I slowly came out, but I realized when I'm not focused on me and I'm focused on other people, it does make it easier. And things start to happen. So I thought this was a calling, not just for me to succeed or achieve or hit some goals, but bringing other people along was going to help me do whatever I needed to do. So knowing that my husband saw that and he spoke it out loud kind of to me going, oh my gosh, that's why I'm doing it. Because I still, like Amy was questioning, okay, I'm here, I'm doing it, I achieved, but why? So and I think people need to know sometimes that's a moving part. Some people seem to have it all together right away and other people it's a moving part, and that's okay. That's okay, because we're continuing to grow and learn, and I'm still doing that as well.
Well, thank God for Harold.
Yes.
Sometimes we need someone else to show us what we're totally missing is right in front of us. So.
Absolutely.
I love that. Awesome. Okay, so my last question for you guys is, Amy, can you, for someone who's considering, well, I just came into Mary Kay for this discount, I didn't expect any of this stuff. As you can see, none of us did. What piece of advice would you have for someone to take it to the next level?
I think that sometimes you can look at all of these amazing directors that Sandy has so graciously taken the time to interview, and you hear all their accolades and all the great things that they've accomplished. And it sometimes can shut you down because you can look at it all and say, well, that's great, but they're able to do this full time, or, like Andrea is just like this miracle woman. I still don't know. I still don't understand how Andrea does everything she does. She's amazing. But, I will tell people, instead of looking at that huge picture, just look at your next step. That's why this is such a beautiful program you put together, because one step can change your life. So if you are a consultant, I would say just take the step and just go out on a limb and work with your director until you have your first team member. And then watch what that's like and feel what that feels like to look through somebody else's fresh eyes and see their excitement and see how much fun it is to run together and say, hey, let's do this together. You may not even be where you want to be as a consultant, but that's so much fun to say to someone, look, I have not been living up to my potential yet in this. And with you along my side, I think we can do it together. So let's go for it this month. Like, let's try and do whatever, like go and earn our jewelry this month, or put the product on 15 faces or 30 fit. Like, let's do it together. I think that can be a game changer. And then it opens your eyes up to more possibility. Well, now what would it look like if you moved into red? Like, how cool is that? To be a red jacket. And like, really, that is like the upper echelon of consultants to get to that position, right? So for me, it's always been step by step. I've always had to say, what can I just do to do the next step and just try it? And I will leave you with this little bit of advice. is that if this is looking intriguing to you, and I would say it probably is if you're watching these videos, there's something about this that's like there's something that's drawing you in. I remember my mother saying to me when I was doubting whether or not I wanted to be a director. Okay, so I finished my first car, and back in the day, I'm sure you've heard stories, it was very different. Like we had to earn 4 months of car, you could not earn it less than that, and then 4 months of DIQ. So I finished my car, and I can remember saying to my mother, I don't know if I want to be a director. I don't know. I have another job. I don't know what I want to do. And she, with all seriousness, she was not tricking me. I promise you. She said, Amy, you've come this far. Don't quit now. Go through the qualification. And when you get there, if you don't want to be a director, you can say, I don't want the position. Nobody says you have to take it. Now, I was like, oh, okay. And as soon as I realized that you don't have to do anything here, you can accept positions, you can step back. You can step back into them when you're ready. As soon as I realized that, and I thought, okay, well, yeah, if I get there and I don't like it, I don't have to stay. And how will I even know that I like it until I get there? Like, don't close the door, right? Don't close the door when you're guessing what the next position is going to be like. You have to get to that position and then make the decision. So just look at your next step. Just do the next best move to move you forward. And I think that will then open the door for your, it'll change your life, just like the theme of this whole program. One step can change everything. So don't look at too big of a picture if it's shutting you down.
That's fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Because I think, thank you for bringing up all those things, because actually, God works so amazingly. So I wasn't able to connect with Andrea and Amy because they're both so busy. And so this was supposed to be just the way it is, because wrapping this up with you two directors is amazing. I'm just so excited to hear you say that, Amy, because it is, we are so apt to compare ourselves to other people. And Donna shared that in our last recording. So we all do it. You guys gotta stop the comparison and do your next.
Yeah. And so this is what I tell, one of my other little part-time things, I work with teenage girls just with self-confidence and self-esteem. And that's a huge thing that's where we learn it. Right. And it's worse now than ever. But I always tell people, don't compare. Like, the reason you don't want to compare, you look to another person as like the possibilities. So if you can change that mindset and stop comparing, saying, well, look, she gets to do all that. No, you could do it too. It's like, they've already paved the way. They've already paved the belief pathway. Like, they're there. You don't compare and make yourself feel worse. You look at them to say, now that's possible for me too. What she's accomplished is possible for me too. If she could do it, I can do it. And when you can really change that thought process in your head, the world will switch for you. It'll be like a filter takes off of your eyes, because it's not, we're all here to find success, to pave the way for the next person. It's not about, I'm going to get there first. Like Andrea said earlier, right? I'm going to get there first and then you can't have it. Because if I can race you there and be the first one, you can't have it. But what we do in Mary Kay is we pave the way to show you it can be done. Like, we just did this so you can do it, not so you can compare yourself to me, but now I just did it. Now let me show you how. Let me bring you along. And if you could remove that comparison, your whole world will shift.
I love it. Thank you, Amy. Okay, Andrea, I'm going to have you share your bit of advice for our consultants.
It's funny that I'm thinking that, because Amy's kind of what she's saying to everybody else, she said to me when I was a consultant. And I remember her saying at one of our meetings, you were probably thinking, what if I become a director and I fail? What if I earn a car and they take it back? What if I do this? And she said, stop doing it. You can't fail if you haven't done it yet. And I just said with my unit on Thursday night, what is your next step? What, we were talking about money management. What's your next step? What's one? And that's what you do. Take that next step. What's one little thing you want to earn? I remember once I just wanted to earn $75 for my daughter to have voice lessons, because it wasn't in our budget. And I'm like, I don't know. And I thought, oh, duh, I have this business. Let me do that. That was something. And it was so important to me that, guess what? I would not put my feet up to watch TV, because if I did that, she wasn't going to have voice lessons. And so it just kept me going. What is that one little thing what's just this one next step that's so important to you? And it doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be buying a house. It could be making that $175 payment or $25 on a credit card, whatever it is, but make it important enough so that you want it so badly, you will not watch that TV show, or you will not get on Facebook, or you won't do anything else until you've achieved that. One small step. And the other thing I would say is every single one of us, I guess I can't speak for all of us, I have failed many, 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 many times over this last almost 15 years. I've made goals, I've missed goals. I've made goals, I've missed goals. And we're not talking about 15 years ago. I'm talking about a month ago or a couple weeks ago, but keep going. Just take the next step, because at this point, I'm okay now. As long as I know I'm doing what I need to do, if it happens, it happens. If not, I figure out what I need to change and I keep moving forward. And you can do that too. And I love hearing the small and the big goals. We all love. That's why we're doing this, because we love hearing what everybody is doing here, and we can't wait to celebrate with you.
Yes, we are super duper excited for our Moving On Up consultants. You guys, we need some generations of consultants to just leap of faith and move up. We need some growth around here. So which one of you guys is going to be the courageous one? So thank you. You know what, Andrea, listening to you reminded me of a quote about how champions are made in their daily routines, but rewarded in the spotlight. So every day we're out there in the grit with you guys. We're doing what it takes to, continue to carry on Mary Kay's legacy. But what it's all about is, read Mary Kay's autobiography, learn really about where you're at, the culture. I hope that through these videos you were able to hear more of the heart of all our directors, because it's such an amazing blessing to be surrounded by such women of excellence. So thank you, ladies, for your time today. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing. And I know that you guys will make a difference in our upcoming leaders. So thank you, guys.
Sandy, thank you for all your work. This is fabulous. So much fun.
It was great. I actually got a lot out of it myself. I loved it.
Sure. Yeah, they're amazing women you're interviewing.
Oh,
Bye, Andrea.
Bye. Take care. Bye.